Track 3.54. 1. Claire.
My little sister and I have always had our fights. I think the funniest time was when I made her ride a cow. We lived in a house with a field of cows on one side, and I told my sister that they were horses. I went into the field and stood behind the cows, making horse noises. When the cows were right next to our garden fence, I said she could ride one of the horses, just like a cowboy. I still can't believe she listened to me. She just jumped off the fence onto a cow's back. The cow was very surprised. It ran away with my sister holding onto its back. I couldn't stop laughing. In the end, my sister fell off. Her clothes were really dirty and she was crying. Then I felt bad and helped her back home. When we got back, I told my mum my sister had tried to ride a cow and I had saved her. She believed me. I still feel guilty.
2. Jeremy.
I often used to play with my younger brother, but we did fight a lot too. I remember one time when I was really mean to him. That day, my parents had burnt some leaves in the garden, and the fire was still a bit hot. So I had an idea for a joke to play on my brother. We had an old kettle in the garden. It was really dirty. I told my brother I was going to make grass soup. So I took some grass and put it in the dirty old kettle with some water. I put it on the fire for a minute. Then I poured some into a cup and gave it to my brother. It was a horrible brown-orange colour with green bits of grass in it. He didn't look very sure about drinking it, so I put the cup near my mouth and told him I had drunk some and it was delicious. I hadn't even tasted it, of course. I gave him the cup and he drank all of it. Later that evening, my brother said he wasn't feeling very well. My parents wanted to know why, so really, I had to tell them about my soup.
3. Tanya.
My sister's a year and a half older than me, and we always got on well. When we were little, we were very similar and did everything together. But then she started to read a lot, and she was very strong for her age. I didn't mind, but I didn't like the attention she got from my parents. One day, some of my parents' friends came to visit us. My dad told them he was very proud of my sister because she could read so well. I got really angry, so I went to the bookcase in the hall and chose 5 of the biggest, thickest books I could see. Then I went back to my parents and their friends and said I had just finished reading the books. My dad asked me to describe the stories. I had no idea, so I just looked at the front of the books and guessed. So I talked about a happy king with lots of rings, that was Lord of the Rings, and also lots of stories about people with names beginning with N. That was volume 12 of an encyclopedia. I could hear my sister laughing in the other room the whole time.